Good morning, everyone. Today, we shall be extending on our topic of yesterday's discussion, that is PCA or Principal Component Analysis. In our discussion yesterday, we saw that PCA is one of the very powerful tools that we use for dimensionality reduction in real-life problems. Now, suppose we give a large number of attributes or features to our model. In that case, our model tends to be overfitted. To now reduce this overfitting, what we do is we need to cut down on certain attributes or cut down on certain dimensions that we give to our model. To cut down those dimensions, we will either use one of the feature elimination strategy or we will use a feature extraction strategy. One of the feature extraction strategies is principal component analysis. And today we shall be talking about how to tackle the numerical problems that we have using principal component analysis. Now, let us say we have data that comprises of two attributes, X and Y, right? And that there are 10 records of data or tuples that have been given to us. Let us say this is the form of data that has been given to us. Now, how do we solve this problem and how do we reduce the dimensionality from here? Now, there are 4 steps to finding principal components of a data. Now, principal components for a data are those components which affect your data or your model or the prediction of your model the maximum. Those are the principal components, and it is these components that we need to retain, and we can do away with the rest of the components of the data. Now, how to solve this problem of finding principal components for a data? Number one, we have to find the mean of all the attributes of the given data. Now, we have been given two data features, X and Y. We have to find the mean of all the attributes. Currently, we are given only 2 attributes, so we will find the mean of X and Y. And then we have to, as a next step, find the covariance matrix. See, for finding the principal components, we need to have a little basics on mathematics, where we need to know what is a covariance matrix, how to generate and find the covariance matrix, what are eigenvalues, what are eigenvectors. All right, so as a next step to finding principal components, we will find the covariance matrix. As a third step, then we need to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors for those covariance matrix. And finally, out of those eigenvectors, we have to select the principal components for the given data. Now, let us run through a numerical example where we have been given 2 features or attributes for our model, that is X and Y, and we are given 10 records of this data. The first step is to find the mean of all the attributes of X and Y. It's a simple process. You can always do it using Excel and try doing it on Excel first, then you can build a Python program for that. See, here we have the values of X and Y, and we have found this total of X, total of Y, divided by the number of tuples. So mx is the mean of X and my is the mean of Y. Now, as a second step, what we need to do is we need to find the covariance matrix. To find the covariance matrix, so as we saw in Excel sheet, the mean of X is 1.81 and the mean of Y is 1.91. Now, as the second step, we need to find the covariance matrix C. Now, what are the entries of this covariance matrix? The entries of this covariance matrix are the covariance of X and X, the covariance of X and Y attributes, the covariance of Y and X attributes, and the covariance of Y variable with the Y variable. Now, how do we find this covariance of x with x, or covariance of x with y, or covariance of y with y? This is the general formula where the covariance of x and y can be found as the product of xi minus x bar, that is xi is each of the data values of x, that is 2.5, minus the mean of x, that is 2.5 minus 1.81, into each value yi, that is 2.4 minus y bar, that is 1.91. And we will summate this over all the values of I ranging from 1 to n, that is ranging from 1 to 10. Now, this entire term is going to be divided by 9, that is n minus 1, that is 10 minus 1. And this is how we will be able to generate the covariance of x with y. It is interesting to note that the value x, covariance of xy and covariance of yx, these two values are absolutely the same. Now, how are we going to calculate the covariance of x and x? How are we going to calculate the covariance of y and y, and the covariance of xy and yx? Again, shifting to our Excel sheet, we can see we have simply copied here the values of x. We have copied here we have generated the value of x minus mx, which is the mean of x, and then we have done the product of x minus mx into x minus mx, which is nothing but xi minus x bar into xi minus x bar. And we have summated it over the entire range of I from 1 to n, and this is the sum that we have got. And finally, dividing this sum by 9, that is n minus 1, this is the answer that we get. All right, we are now going to repeat this process for covariance of y with y. To generate the covariance of y with y, that is to generate covariance y comma y, we need to first of all generate for all I ranging from 1 to n the value of y minus m of y, that is we need to generate y minus y bar for all I ranging from 1 to n, that is 1 to 10. And this is what we have done here. Now, in the last column of this table, what we need to do is we need to multiply this term with itself. Once we do that, we get the desired output, that is y minus y bar into y minus y bar. So this is how we do it. Fine. We can do it for all the values of y. Now, we can generate the sum of this. This is the sum. This is the sum. And then finally, what we have to do is we have to divide this sum by n minus 1, that is 9. N minus 1, that is 9. So what we do is the sum that we have got here, we are going